7:33 your time now, and just 3 weeks into the new school year in New York City, and school Chancellor David Banks announces he's retiring.
Now, Mayor Adams and Chancellor Banks are expected to announce his replacement this afternoon, but what impact will it have on the schools and the students? Well, joining us this morning is Brooklyn Councilwoman Rita Joseph, who chairs the Education Committee. So good morning, Councilwoman. Thanks so much for being with us this morning.
Good morning to you both. Thank you for having me today.
I mean, I should be asking, gosh, we have a lot to recover from, because what a wild ride it has been the last few months, really. But as the chair of the Education Committee, you work closely with Chancellor Banks. Did you see this coming, or did it come as a surprise, this resignation?
I wasn't surprised, because Chancellor Banks and I are very close. We talk because of the work that we do. And I remember having lunch with him, and he said, I've been doing this for 40 years. It's time for me to go. And I knew that he wasn't going to come back for the next term, but I didn't expect it so soon. But it's here. And it's an important moment for our city, especially for our public education system, which is the largest school system in the country. So I have to say I was really proud to work alongside Chancellor Banks. His announcement to step down at the end of the year, certainly a significant moment for all of us. Bittersweet for moment, but he's a committed leader, and I'm sure the person who steps into his seat will continue the work that he's been doing around early childhood, NYC Reads, empowering students and families. And that's one of the things he did, allow parents and families to have voice, and young people. Because we always say this work impacts young people, and he always made sure that young people were centered in his work, and early childhood. And also one of the greatest things he did was support new New Yorkers as they were coming into New York. And he did an interview with the New York Times, and he said that.
All right, Councilwoman, very quickly want to ask you, too, about the FBI raids at Mr. Banks' home the day before school began, the investigations involving him, his partner, First Deputy Mayor Sheena Wright, as well as his brothers. Would it, in your opinion, have been a distraction had he stayed on as chancellor?
He said he wouldn't. That should not be a distraction, right? He's always said he's a person of integrity. The work would continue as is. So I can't speculate on what made him, if that was one of the reasons that he did step down. But I know that he was committed to New York City kids and to the New York City school system.
Yeah, I think a lot of folks are questioning the timing. But let's ask you about about Melissa Aviles Ramos. She is expected to take over for the chancellor when he steps down. Do you know, though, if this is going to be an interim post for her if she is selected until they find a new chancellor, or is she going to be officially named the new chancellor?
When I understood, she will be officially named today. She's amazing. I've worked alongside with her. She led Operation Open Arms when our new New Yorkers were arriving here. She led that initiative. She was an educator herself, like myself, superintendent, principal. So I know that she will continue to work. One of the things we always say in education is always a revolving door, but she will continue to work that Chancellor Banks had laid down, the foundation that he laid down, and she will continue to build on that.
And what are some of the major challenges facing the city schools right now that the incoming chancellor is going to have to deal with, do you think?
Some of it will be making sure early childhood is stabilized. Class size law has to be implemented. So that's one of the laws that they've been facing with challenges. Admissions, well, a myriad of things. School budgets, we were able to maintain everything, but the next coming year we have to find another source to make sure we maintain all of the initiative key programs that were funded with federal dollars. So budgeting will be very important. Class size will be important. Early childhood is very important, because that's the bedrock of our society. If our foundation is strong, our top will also be strong.
Before we let you go, let's just look at this as a big picture. I mean, there have been a lot of changes at City Hall in recent weeks. Is City Council holding any meetings or hearings to address how these changes are impacting the day-to-day operations of the city? Because I feel like a lot of folks that live in the city right now are losing confidence in the mayor's administration.
Absolutely. We have, for example, I have an upcoming hearing on transportation, because that's impacting our young people and how to and from school. So upcoming hearing I have is literally on transportation, to making sure that our students are getting to and from schools. And we have a myriad of subjects that we will be dealing with, and we are talking to administration, because we have to have a vote of confidence in our city government. So in the last few weeks have not shown that.
All right, a very important conversation there. Councilwoman Rita Joseph, thank you so much for spending time with us here this morning. Have a good day.
Hey, you too. Thank you so much for having me.